Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to PSGL PSCF 4 here. I'm come to Iron Neon, or as Gerald Fosbury. Today we're in for an exciting race for the finale of PSGL this season. And we have 5 drivers, mathematically I believe, still in the championship fight. And we are pumped to see what happens today. As right now I'm going to go through the championship order as we speak. So then, Trinity is leading as I go back on Rudy. He's the first one. What's that? Freaky Fast now. Freaky Fast will be on a lap, so we'll go on board with him while he's on a lap. But Trinity right now is leading with 105 points to his name. DB has closed a lot up the past 2 rounds, only a point off Trinity's for the title fight. Then there's a bit of a gap with Rudy, who's 11 points off the leader. And then the next 2 guys, which is Zeus and Gustav, are the only guys. Who have I missed? Oh no, Gustav just missed out of it. Sorry, Knuth and Zeus have 17 points of gap to Trinity, so they need to win the race and fast lap and pray that DV, Rudy and Trinity don't score any points. So that is our 5 title contenders for today, but right now on board with Freaky Fast right now. He's currently entering sector 3 and his teammate's actually just ahead of him. He might get a cheeky little bit of tow, which obviously isn't allowed, but yeah. And the constructors can be wrapped up as well. There's still mathematically only 2 teams are in it. It is Haas and AlphaTauri. Freaky Fast sets the provisional fast lap, a 1.7.5. Rudy takes second with a 1.7.9. Then Trinity's picking up the pace already, 5 tenths quicker than Freaky Fast, a 1.7.1. He knows he's shown the pace all season long. He's won a couple of rounds. He knows the pressure's probably going to get to him. But who will be crowned champion today is the main question, really. As next up, I believe, is Noah, if we go on board with him right now, entering final sector, and a 1.7.5, so he goes second at the moment. Now we have a McLaren, I believe that is Knuth, and it isn't, it is actually LRB. He goes 5th place with a 1.8 flat. You'll be happy with that on the medium compound tire, only a second off the soft. Jabraka, the first Haas to get in the 6.9s, and Jabraka then, he just needs to play a team game for his teammate and the constructors as well. As DB goes into 6th place at the moment with a 1.7.949. As Knuth comes to the line, a 1.7 flat then, 2nd place at the moment on the soft compound tyre. Then we have Uppy Zane, who is next up. Hopefully he doesn't lag out this time. And he goes 4th, so 1.7.372 as the next Alpine up, which is actually Freaky Fast there, improved on his time. Shane then is next, as the AlphaTauri has gone into the pit lane, and then we'll go on board with Cameron Young, I believe, is the car behind. And Shane does a 120.6. There's an Aston of Ron Zeus, that's like a symbol on outlap. We're going to go on board with Toxic Tomato then. I believe he is the next person by on a lap. Keeps it under control. Let's see what he does then. It says he's on an outlap, and he is. So we're actually going to fly then with the Red Bull driver, Toxic Tomato, who unfortunately missed last week. Hopefully he can help his teammate. He needs to play a team game for his teammate for the championship fight. He's basically going to have to be the Perez of the Red Bull team, which, yeah, yesterday's race in real life was rigged, and wrong person lost. But right now though, on board with Karen, and there's a wheel on the track there, and Jabraka's retired. I didn't even realise that. It's actually Jabraka who's out, so Jabraka must have lost it. That isn't good, because if that's just a banker run and people can get mid-60s, I don't know if that's going to be their pace, but if they can, he could lose a lot of positions, because everyone's quite close on the soft tyre, and some people are even on high 7s in the mediums, so maybe Jabraka's provisional pole isn't safe. Shane, as I said that, Shane has now done a 16.910, so only 300ths quicker, and it looked like Cameron backed off. So we're on board with Slimmer right now, he's coming across the line, and that's a 17.1 there, goes 4th quickest as the Alpine, I believe. Or was that the Williams? Oh, Simblitz goes 9th quickest right now. Martin then is up next, but it looks like, is he on the pits? No, he don't, he's just taking the shortest route possible. And then we'll go on board with the other title contender on Zeus. And Martin, provisional pole at the moment. That's good pace there from the Williams drive, 16.8. But here comes Ron Zeus. Will he be able to take it? And not a good qualifying there at the moment. 1.8 1.5. He has a lot on to try and win this title today, but You know, it can happen. There's been crazy stuff happen in Formula 1, so... And I believe that is everybody off their flyers, except Cameron. I think Cameron Toxic's gone back on another run. No, he's actually invalidated, so that's his run over. Yep, same as Simulates. So I don't know... No, that's everyone's qualifying run over then. So we'll go on board with... let's see who actually starts. It's JR Lautis then, who's on a flyer. Next up on his first attempt, he's the only person who hasn't set lap time. He's on the softs. Unfortunately, his teammate Gustav isn't here, which is a shame, as he's had some good run of form, and there's yellows 6, 1, 2, and 3. That's people just moving out of the way or making mistakes on their laps and aborting. Right now then, Lautis currently turn 5, now approaching the turn 6 and 7. Got to watch out if track limits, as has been said, I believe, in the communications, that if you go over, you could get penalised if you do it in the race without getting penalised by the game. So you've got to be careful on that. But right now then, let's have a look and see what the Mercedes can do. He's actually catching up with Fig Fast, and hopefully Fig Fast realises the Merc is on a lap and does move out the way. But Lautis, right now, is pushing the Merc as quick as possible. Well then, through the final corners, onto the straight. Let's see what time he will set in the Mercedes. And that's going to be a 1.7.1, so 7th quickest at the moment, as the grid's quite close. And you will be happy with that. And now finally we have all 16 drivers setting lap times. I think Cameron's on another flyer. Ooh, Rio almost loses there as he keeps it under control. On the mediums again. Well, I say Jaraka's currently in 3rd right now. Unfortunately, he won't be able to set a quicker lap. But here comes Toxic, and he goes in the pits. So he is in the pit lane then. As let's go on board with DV. Will he be able to challenge Trinity's position? Because all Trinity has to do today is literally be ahead of his rivals and make sure, if Rudy is ahead of him, that in an 11-point gap ahead in position. So Stevie takes provisional pole at the moment at 1.6.760, so that is the pace to beat. Trinity then needs to realise that he needs to be on pole no matter what. He's got to get the lap together, and speaking about getting the lap together, I believe he's on a lap right now. No, he's backed off. So he's decided not to continue with the lap. Just maybe didn't feel confident enough or anything. He'll be disappointed. As we have a Alpine who's next. That's Shane, who's on an outlap. Both Astons are on an outlap, one McLaren's. LRB is on an in-lap, I believe. Yes, he is. Both Williams also on in-laps. Right now, actually, well, Slimball's out. He's binned it out of... Get on board with Martin. He's binned it out of turn 3. That's a very... Well, just before the entry turn, so that's a weird spot to lose it. But right now, though, on board with Martin. Currently 4 minutes down off his time in Sector 1. Let's see what he can do. Oh, he runs wide, and that's an invalidation. So that's his lap over. Next up, we'll go on board with the only Aston remaining, as I said, who's still in the title fight, is Ron Zeus. Currently in 15th in the mediums with a 1.8.5. He knows he can beat that time on the softs, which he's on. Right now they're nice and tidy there through 4 and 5. 6, now in 7th. Got to be careful, just keeps it within track limits there, nice and tidy. Shafts the corner a little bit. Just trying to get the throttle nice under control, and he keeps it under control there with the throttle management. Now into the hairpin when we saw Hamilton and Albon a couple of years ago have a bit of contact. As the famous, is that Glock? Will that happen today? Any moments like that for DV or Trinity, as there's a lot of people in the way. That could have affected Shane's run up to the line. Will Ron Zeus be challenging for pole? And 1.67 is to beat, and it's 7th lap. And that only puts him 10th place. That is how close the grid is right now, and that only puts him 10th. What about Rocco? Will he be able to challenge for Paul? And no, just misses out there. Third place at the moment with a 1:06.833. So he is starting to pick up the pace a little bit more. So he's going to be happy with that, at least that he's closer to DV, only one position behind. As right now, Noah Jones is currently provisional pole with a 1:06.744. So times are getting quicker as Freaky Fast is now into the pit lane. The next up is LRB, who's on an outlap. Then there's a Merc of JR, who's also on an outlap. What about Cameron? Talks right now, he's currently on a flyer just behind the McLaren and the Mercedes. Let's see what he can do and try and help his team out. And hopefully he doesn't do a Bottas. Hopefully he can do a Perez scenario for today. Because he's going to have to play the team game for his teammate for a good chance to win the Drivers' Championship. So let's come on then. Coming down the straight, let's see what he can do. Comes to the line, and it's going to be a 1.7 flat there. He's going to be happy with that. Only 11th, but he's going to be happy with the pace. He knows he's got it. He only has to improve by a couple of tenths. And Cameron usually, with quality, has been bottling lately with the qualifying, but today it looks like he's on it, and he's got the pace to actually even chance for the win, maybe, if he can just improve by a couple of tenths, as the grid is quite close. I think the grid's just separated. Yeah, it's just separated with 5 tenths, the top 16. So it's very close at the moment, and I don't know if anybody else is on a flyer. I know the McLaren of LRB should be on a flyer. He was on an outlap when Cameron was, so let's go on board with McLaren then. Currently in 6th position with a 1:06.884. Only needs to improve by a couple of hundredths to move into 4th right now. But let's see what he can do then. He's coming up to the line, and it's going to be a 1:06.746. Goes second quickest at the moment, only 2,000th of a second off the McLaren. As we go on board with second placement in the championship, as Martus goes 7th with 1:06.8. Will he be able to improve on his lap time? As I said, he only needs to improve by a couple of hundredths, and he'll be on pole. But knowing DV, he'll be pushing like mad to just probably gain 2 tenths at least to get pole. But right now he's a couple hundredths down on this time, almost 400ths. Through turn 4, in a 5 now. Nice and tidy, but there's 2 cars going slowly, moving on the right side, which is perfect, respectful. In the 6, now in the 7th, got to get a good exit, nice and tidy within track limits, into the 8th, got to turn 8. Now sweeping left, got to get good traction here because you can lose a lot of time or even lose the rear end, which can cost you a lot more time. Into the little hairpin corner on the right hander now. Nice and tidy on the exit, good power. Do the Timor Glock corner, as I call it. Into the final corner, I would say, on the exit. Nice and tidy now, it's just speed and power and take the shortest route to the line. And he's backed off. So he looks like he's run out of fuel. That's interesting. It sounded like he ran out of fuel, but the fuel wasn't letting on. It sounded like the car was cutting out. I don't know if that's a sound glitch. And good evening, George. How you doing? Good to see you on stream. DB then, currently in 3rd. As right now then, we'll go on board with the Ferrari of Uppy Zane, currently on a lap. Actually, Freaky Fast is on a flying lap right now. He's currently a 10th up on his time. Will he be able to improve anymore? He's, well, 3.5 tenths, almost 4 tenths improvement. That could actually challenge for pole almost. Freaky Fast has been freakily fast this season. Let's see what he can do now. Coming to the line in the Alpine. Oh, almost goes over the white line. That could have been validated, but let's see what he does. It's a 1:06.8, goes 7th quickest. Good lap there from him. He'll be happy with that right now. As Zane, I believe, should be next on the flag, because everybody else is on an outlap. And he's invalidated, so that's his lap over at the moment. Search point leader is out on another outlap, as Rudy is actually finishing his lap. He's now got the fuel warning light on. He's got 2.5 minutes, roughly, and he's in the pits. So will he have enough time to get back out on track? So we're going to go on board with the transition point leader then for today's race. As DRS is activated now. See what Trinity can do. See if he can win his first championship in PSGL. He's had 2 attempts, I believe, in F2 and just missed out, and 1 through his teammate, and then I believe 1 to Alfie, and he invalidates through turn 2. So he's going to be annoyed with that, and that's not going to get him warmed up, so he's going to have to do another lap on those tyres. So Maybe the pressure is getting a Rocco. Right now, though, we're going to go on board with Noah, who wants to try and keep pole position at the moment. Currently, LRB is second with the 1:06.746, as I said. Only 0.02 of a second off Noah. Oh, Noah's rear end really kicking out there. Keeps it under control. And his lap is over for now. He's got plenty of time to do another, and I believe that is LRB on an out lap there. Burning the fuel, over revving the car. Just trying to burn all that fuel. What about Shane? Is he on a fly right now? He would be the next one on. But I don't believe he is. He's not even on full throttle, so... I'll run Zeus. We get a nice camera shot on the rear end. As he runs wide as well. Keeps it within track limits, though, so I'm very... Well, he didn't keep it within track limits, but the game thought it did. He was invalidated, it should be, but keeps it uninvalidated then, as I was trying to say. As he's now into turn 8. See what he can do then. Ronzus has got a big challenge on me. He's got a 17-point gap to Trinity. He's still in it. He has to win and get the fast lap today to take the championship, and hopefully that all the other championship rivals don't score any points, or score minimum, if that. See what he can do then. He's backed off as well, so that's his lap over then, as I believe that's Simblick's next up on a lap. No, it's Martin who is next. He's gone in the pits, completely cut that. Shane's next, coming to the line, then I believe it's Trinity. Why did it not let me select Rocco? That was weird. Cameron is on Tuxtamo, is on a flying lap right now. Haas of DV has just set a lap time. 1:44, but he's gone on another. God. As some extent is coming to the line now. Let's see what he does. That's a 1:19. He's nowhere near the pace, unfortunately. Zane is next. He's done 3 laps on those softs. What is he doing? As Trinity comes to the line then. And it looked like he backed off because he was apparently over. As LRB takes provisional pole right now. 1:06.706 is the time to beat. So, will 20-point leader be able to take it? As we'll go on board over on a lap as Rudy has retired from the session, so he knows he can't improve anymore. And the McLaren of Knuth is on the right side, same with Zane. Let's see what Trinity can do then. Right now he's in 7th. His closest rival in the championship is in 3rd, which is DV. DV only needs to outscore Trinity by 2 points to win the title, because it's a point difference. Right now Trinity is doing a nice and tidy lap now, goes a bit deep into the hairpin. That could affect him a tiny bit now. Coming into the Team Glock corner. New provisional pole was a 1:06.5. DV's raised the bar. Will Trinity be able to master that? Right around the final exit of that corner. Will he, Rocco, or will Trinity be able to do it? Will he be able to take pole, or will it be DV? Who's it going to be then? Coming to the line. Let's see what it is. Ah, and he's annoyed. He'll be annoyed with that. The 1:06.833 isn't good enough. What about Knuth? He's backed off completely, and that is a shame there for Trinity at the moment. He's lost the qualifying battle, and the championship is advantage DV at the time being, as he's currently in 1st, and as I said, his closest rival is Trinity with point difference. So DV then will be starting on pole, and he needs to be there to win the championship basically. Just keep ahead of Trinity, and that's all he needs to do. However though, the Haas team, as a team though, are in a bit of trouble because Alpha Tauri are 3rd and 6th. I've got to say, very close grid. There's 5/10 separate everyone from 1st to 16th, which is pretty amazing for F4. Usually there's a bit bigger the gaps. Yep, there's qualifying session is officially over then. As DB then is the fastest then in the Haas with a 1:06.580. LRB 1 1/4 tenths roughly off. Noah Jones in 3rd. You will have to play a team game for Rudy for any chance at the championship. JR in 4th, Shane in 5th, Rudy in 6th, one of the title contenders, with Knuth in 7th, and the championship points leader in 8th is Trinity. Freaky Fast in 9th, Martin in 10th, Simblix 11th, better qualifying from the Williams drivers. Jabraka in 12th, not that good for the Haas team out of Hall. Zayn then 13th. Ronzu's in 14th. He's got a big task ahead of him for today's race. And Toxic Tomato and Slimbo round up the final 2 spots in 15th and 16th. And as I said, only 5.5 tenths from 1st to 16th. It's, wow. I think this is the closest it's ever been this year since I've been come to FF4. Let's see what can happen then as we hopefully have clear weather, but you never know. Here's Brazil. We could have some wet weather like F10 and F11 had. So I went for Shane. The skies do look clear. I don't see any clouds. Actually, no, there is a couple of clouds, but they look quite far away, to be honest. I don't think they're grey enough to affect the race. We have some sunny spells at the moment, so you never know. As we've had this before, I believe it was Austria where it was sunny at the start and then rain at the end. So we could still have that interplay, and could be similar to 2008 Brazil, except I believe that was wet at the start and dried off and then wet again. So 12 seconds and then we'll be going on the formation lap and we'll go down the grid order, and I'll do my race prediction as well for today. As everyone has left, no issues this time, which is brilliant. As DB then leads the drivers away then on the formation lap then. So top 10 obviously are on the soft tyres, but I'll go through them again then. DV in first, LB second, Noah in third, Otis fourth, Shane in fifth, Rudy in sixth, Knuff in seventh, eighth Trinity. So 6th, 7th and 8th is going to be a very interesting battle for the championship. Freaky Fast in 9th, Martin in 10th, Simblitz 11th, Jabraka 12th, Zane 13th, Ronzi's 14th, Toxic Martin 15th, and Slimbo in 16th on mediums. I believe it is a medium soft strategy, or soft to medium, I believe, around here. I could be wrong, as I didn't get enough practice for F10 since it was wet, so I don't know actually what tyre strategy is, but I believe it is soft medium. I think it is the quickest way to go around Brazil, but people could do a 2-star to be aggressive, so we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. And my race prediction then for the winner today, I believe DV's got it in the bag. You know, his next championship rider would be Rudy, who's closest, but the guy who's only a point ahead of him is Trinity. I don't think he's going to get up there that quick. So DV, I think, is going to win the race and take the championship. I'm going to go with Noah in second. I'm going to go with Rudy third, and then Trinity fourth. I believe that's what it's going to be for today, and I think if that's all said and done, I think that's how AlphaTauri could take the championship in the Constructors. I'll have to have confirmation from that, but right now then, the guys all line up for the final time this season on the grid. Touch wood, there's no glitch or anything on the start like it was last week. It's just waiting for Toxic and the Aston Martins to line up at the back. As we've got 36 laps of amazing racing to go ahead at Brazil. We now have 5 red lights for PSGL, PS, C29, F4 tier, and we're underway. And I look at the Mercedes. Lautus gets a cracking start then, already making the move into second place. DV holds his line as we're going 3 wide there. Nowhere. The McLaren, oh, there's contact in the background. Will that collect the Red Bull? The Red Bull is off. That is Trinity off the track, and he's under control. Trinity's in round. Trinity is round. The championship points leader is round, and he's into the wall, and that's probably rear wing damage, and that could cost him the championship. DV right now currently no safety car or anything, but that was a big impact, and wow, very big impact indeed, and that's helped Rudy. Rudy right now is in a brilliant position. He's currently in third, could challenge DV, but he needs DV not to score any points, or just 1 point at least, really, to have a chance for the title. But that is a shame. I don't know what happened. It looked like he got collected by the McLaren, I believe, on the turn 3, but wow, he'd be furious with that, and I'm very surprised that wasn't a safety car. And that's basically Trinity's championship over, unless he can somehow get a miracle like Max Verstappen did. But yeah, it's going to be interesting how that plays off, and yeah, that's I wanted a nice race between DV and Trinity, but that's just been ruined as DV sets provisional fast lap with a 1:13.3. Right now on board Rudy, who's only at 11 points off the transfer point leader. With this he'd be 1 point, I believe, because Trinity's not getting points right now. And if he took second he would be in lead, so you need DV basically. I think 8th would be the place he'd have to be, max points he can let DV get. So DV right now is currently your champion right now if it stayed like this. Right now on board with Simblix, and Uppy Zane's actually scrapping away with Altus behind in the background as well. And I'm going to have a look at the rear wing of that Red Bull. There's no body damage or anything, it doesn't look like any visual damage, but I'm guaranteeing there's floor damage at least on that rear. Although back on board with Rudy, currently fighting for second position as DV is just pulling away. 1.3 seconds the gap is right now. Down the straight, then Shane sets a new fast lap 1:09.6. However, Fast improves his lap 9.5. So the quicker times are getting quicker. As Jabraka then making his way through the field now into 8th place. And oh, look at the Red Bull. I'm talking to Tomato. He's getting very hungry and he needs to get through these positions. He's going to try and help his teammates slow the pack down and let him catch up. That's what Cameron's game plan is. We're almost going 3 wide there in the background. There's right now Slimbo and LRB are fighting side by side through turn 4. Aston has got the corner and he is through. Good overtake there, and watch out there as the other Aston Martin, the other Championship rival, Ron Zeus, trying to make a move. Oh, he almost made a move there through turn 6. LB's just leaving the gap. LB had some strong pace, but then it just dropped off. I think he might have been the McLaren which was involved with Trinity, and I think that's also collected Noah with the Merc of Lautus. So did kick off at the start. We had a lot of carnage. However though, back to the front. Rudy versus Shane now. Rudy is getting a good run on the inside line and he's through. Easy overtake. Don't even really need DRS to be honest. And he is through, and Shane instantly trying to get back in the slipstream. Can't make it work. He's got to watch out for Knuth as well. Knuth is also fighting for the championship as well. He's got basically nothing to lose. As Jabraka then moved into 7th position, but he's made an error. Now the Williams is coming back at him side by side now through turn 2 and 3. But look at Cameron now. He's in a perfect run on Simblix. Will he be able to make the move on the inside? He has to wait though because the DRS is just basically helping him. Simblix now moved to the right. That's his defensive move. And Cameron going for it? No, he has to stay behind at the moment. But the Red Bulls, one might be down, but the other one is in full attack mode right now, trying to pass Simblix and Jabraka. And wow, right now Martin's the first one to pick up a 3-second time penalty as LRB's in the pits, so he must have had some damage to the car, maybe for the reason the pit stop. He's on the mediums, so maybe the 2-stop is going to have to be the objective now. As Rudy, oh, Simblix makes an error, gets the car under control, and there, easy move to touch tomorrow. But what about Slimbo? Will he be able to make a move now? Get a nice rear camera shot. Will Slimbo be able to make the move? It should be an easy overtake, to be honest. He's going to get the DRS, double torque. He's going on the inside line. And he has got him, it looks like. Through turn 1 they go, but he cuts him off. Oh, a bit of contact there on the front of the right of the Aston. Oh, and Simblix makes an error. He's into the wall almost. Just misses out. And he's very lucky not to plant that in the wall because that would have lost a tyre. He needs to get back on track safely, and he does. And lucky he didn't get a 10-second time penalty from the game. Usually that can happen as we have a nice little tasty little fight now between the other Aston of Lautus and Ron Zeus. So keep an eye on the fight for the lead as well, and for 3rd place. Trying to keep an eye on all the title contenders for today. DV is doing a cracking job, but Rudy is now starting again as Tuxmar picks up a 3-second time penalty. Trinity is now picking up the pace a tiny bit more. He's catching up with these guys, so he might be out for now, but he could come back later in this race and do a cracking job. So don't count out Trinity. He's can come back because Simbo's making a couple errors, I've just noticed. But we're going to go on board with Knuth. It's Knuth right now trying to make a move for 3rd. Rudy's now gained up to DV as well, actually, so DV must have made some mistakes. Actually not. It looks like he's actually saved DRS compared to these guys. as Toxic Tomato has moved into 7th. You might as well just call that corner Toxic Tomato Cameron Young. It's his favourite overtaking spot. He's already made a lot of moves. It's past Jabraka now. Jabraka though might be coming back at him. Cameron defends on the inside. Oh, closed the door, bit of wheel banging. But I'd say that's fair race and let them race. I feel like it's fair, to be honest. They have had their ups and downs before, and it has some similar scenarios between these two. Is now Slimbo's just now lost the move to Lautas. Lautas made a double overtake on Aston's. So as Slimbo maybe got a bit of minor damage to the front wing with the contact of LRB, maybe. He might have had some contact with the McLaren when he tried to make the inside overtake. However, back to the fight up ahead as we have a nice little train going. Rudy is now starting to save his ERS, but trying also to catch up with DV, which should be pretty easy. DV's not getting DRS. He might be burning the ERS, but he ain't really getting any. As Knorth is also trying to line up a move. I think it is Rudy's time though. He has, as I said, he has nothing to lose. He can just win this race, but unfortunately won't be champion. Let's see what happens then. Right now, no overtakes. Saying isn't close enough right now on the Aston Martin of Wanzus. As everyone's in their little trains, you just can't make a move as... Oh, go back up on the action up front there as Knuff's now closed up back on Shane. And Shane's really close up on Rudy, so maybe DV's got an issue, or he's just trying to save the ERS, trying to save the battery and play the long game and use it later in the race. Which is a smart strategy in case he has to do an undercut stop and then basically burn all the battery and just pull away. But pit stops, I believe, will be around about like 12 to 15, so it's going to be interesting then what DV can do on the race strategy and see if he can win it that way. But right now though, we're on board with Kernhoff making a move on the outside into turn 1. The Alpine and the McLaren going side by side, and Shane wins this one at the moment as we're going to go on board with Rudy. Can he close up enough to DV? And he isn't using his ERS, so it just doesn't look like he wants to move yet, which is interesting. Right now though, we're going to go on board with Jabraka. He could be under threat as both medium tyre drivers. Could be not outliers, but oh no, Cameron! Oh, he's lost the car and he's round, and that's just ruined the Red Bulls there. Toxic was really pushing, and then as soon as I go on board with him, he loses the rear, and that's a shame. He was pushing, and now both Red Bulls are 13th and 14th. Back on board with Rudy then for the lead of the race. Rudy now is picking up the pace now. He knows he's quicker and he doesn't want to get overtaken by the guys behind of Shane and Knuth. But he just needs to get a good exit out of 3 and use his ERS, and he's using it now. So it looks like he may make an overtake, but he's now stopped deploying. So he needs to make a decision. Does he make the move and risk losing the position or spinning around, or does he just sit behind and just wait? Because right now, Rudy, you're just letting the guys behind you save up their ERS and basically make this race boring. I want some overtakes. Come on, guys. As both Astons are fighting with the Merc and the Ferrari in the background there, as we can see through turn 6 now they're approaching. As Shane hits the rear end of Rudy. If that's simulation damage, that'd be a wing coming off. Stevie then. 9 out of 36. Lap 9. Pit stops will be soon. He hasn't got that much ERS now like he had earlier. He did use a bit there down the straight just to pull a bit of a gap. Still no joy right now, with both Red Bulls must be kicking themselves right now where they are. And all they can do is basically slipstream themselves back up the positions. It says yellows in sector 1. That is a Red Bull going slowly. That is Tuxedo off the track. And he's back on safely. It looks like he might have affected it, yeah, might have lost him traction or something out of turn 3. But right now, Haas are doing a cracking job for the constructors as well, because I believe right now, if they sat like this, they'd win it. So they'll win double, because only one Alpha Tauri is in the points. The other Alpha Tauri is in 16th. Rudy then is a lot closer this time. Surely he's got to go for the overtake. He is thinking about it. It looks like he might. No, he goes back in the slipstream and just maybe get a better run. Probably is better to make a move here, but then you're going to have to try and get out of that DRS range. Is Rudy close enough this time? Will he make the overtake? He's gaining, but he's just not using any of his battery. There's 11 out of 36. Currently no other overtakes or interesting overtakes right now. Slimbo tried to make a move on the Mercedes, makes an error. Yellow's in sector 1. Tuxedo is around again, same corner. It's not like him to make errors like that. Surely, Rudy, you're going for it now. Obviously, you've got to. Looks like he is. Rudy is gaining. He's now using a bit more battery. He's going around the outside. Could this be advantage Rudy for today? And he's through. Past DV now. DV drops to 2nd position. Now, will Shane now make a overtake on him? Is he close enough? I don't think he is. And that is a shame. But Rudy is doing a cracking job with the straight line speed there against Stevie. Stevie's now lost 1 position. Could he lose a couple more with the tyres maybe just starting to wear out or something? Or is DV playing this tactically just to get his ERS back as he runs a bit wide through 6? And there's a Red Bull off. He is out, and that is Tux Tomato. He is out. Will that be a safety car? It's a VSC. Virtual safety car then. And that is a shame, which is basically going to help the guys on the softs, because now they can pit. Yeah, that's very interesting then. A VSC, no safety car. It would have been better if there was a safety car. It would have spiced it up a little bit more. Would give some of the title contenders another chance. But will Rudy decide to pit? And the answer is yes. He's in. Everyone is in. Wow. Well, it looks like Haas will have the advantage because they shouldn't get held up by anybody on their pit stop. Whoa! Safety car! Oh, some new information. It is a safety car. So it did say VSC, but it's now a safety car. So advantage. Trinity again, he's back into the title fight. Yeah, obviously he's further down the grid, but he's going to be on fresh tyres and he's going to be with the group, and any damage to be repaired can be repaired then. So we'll go on board with the Red Bull team and see if there's any damage on the car, any wings need to be replaced or anything like that. No front wing change, don't look like any damage, so well, here it is then. Will Trinity make a comeback from 13th? That's interesting. It did say VSC, so I must have missed it when it went safety car. So that has spiced it up a little bit now. Jabrak then leads with Rudy 2nd and DV in 3rd. So this is going to be very interesting then. What can happen? What turn of events could happen? Could a Haas and an AlphaTauri fighting for the constructors get a bit too heated? All 3 drivers go off and give Knuth, Ron Zeus a chance to win the championship? Or will Trinity be able to get through the field quickly as possible and fight for the lead of this race, or just try and get ahead of DV? The time will tell us. We have to wait a couple laps for people to catch up on the safety car. Thank you, Ross, for the information. Lap 13 then. So we're going to go down the grid then. Jabraka at the moment is first. He's probably going to pit. Rudy second, DV third, Shane fourth, Knuth in fifth, Martin in sixth, Vicky Fast seventh, Artis eighth, Slimbo in ninth, Zane moves into 10th after that safety car. Simulix in 11th, Ronzo's 12th, Trinity in 13th, LRB 14th, and Noah in 15th. And our only DNF for today's race is Toxic Tomorrow. Knuth is getting, yeah, because Brack's just pit. And Trinity now moves into 10th, so he's gained some more places after the pit stop. So Trinity doesn't actually gain that many positions. So will Rudy help the senior Red Bull team? Obviously he's in the AlphaTauri, but could there be a bit of help between these drivers if Rudy realises he can't win the championship? The way, because Rudy right now is sitting in a prime spot. If DB gets collected and Trinity doesn't score points, he's champion, the way he sits. So, but right now, it is DV currently in the championship by a bit. I think we'll be doing, I think safety car will be in this lap. As everyone has caught up, or will it do another lap? Might do another lap, to be honest. We'll find out just at the Sector 3 line from race control if it comes in. I still think no DV is going to win this race though, and safety car is in this lap then, so race control have confirmed. And on a Michael Massey situation, and they have decided to bring safety car in. Lap 40 now, 36. Is it enough time for some of the guys who are further down the grid to challenge for a podium? Or will Rudy or DV run away with the race win and DV run away with the title? As we'll find out, as we're going to go back to racing speed. And after he goes, he made a little go there to maybe shake off DV, but it didn't work, and overtakes are already happening now as we go on board with Knuth. Martin sends it on the inside on, there's already contact, and Martin is round. And Trinity's had a cracking start, already into 7th position. Same movement, trying to make a move on Freaky Fast, and overtakes out the front at the moment, but let's see what Trinity can do. Trinity gets really close to the braking zone. Will Zane just move out the way and let him through? He is on the quicker tyre, is the Red Bull, so could it be a smart strategy just to let him through, as DV is also on the hards? So is it the smart option to be on the mediums, or will the mediums die off and the hards make it to the end at fair pace, or are they thinking about pitting again if there's another safety car? Because that's a very interesting strat to go hards. I believe mediums can go to the end at this. Trinity, he's made a move into 6th now. He's now in 6th. As Gustav says, go on Jack mate, Toto happy. Toto will be happy on Thursday when the decision's overruled, Gustav. It should be overruled. I think don't slap max that race, but enough about real life F1. Let's get on board with F4 then, as Rudy sets the provisional fast lap 19.563. When DRS gets back into play, I'm guessing these lap times are going to get beaten. As we're going on board with Trinity then, again, as I don't believe DV's close enough to make an overtake. We'll have a look at the transfer points leader. In right now, but he was before the race actually started. As actually, speaking about overtakes, there is an overtake further behind. And that is the Aston Martin of Slimbo and the Mercedes of Lautos going side by side now. Fighting for 10th, and the Mercedes is through, but the Aston Martin trying to go back on the outside, maybe through turn 6, brakes a bit earlier, trying to go for the switch, can't make it work, and the Mercedes keeps the line, keeps the position, and he'll be after that, and oh no! Trinity, he's picked up a 3-second time penalty added to his time, so that isn't good, that's not what he needs. He can't be picking up penalties. This guy can't get any luck at all this season, especially for a title fight. This is his 3rd chance to win a championship, and it's always gone down to bad luck. Will it happen again? I hope it doesn't, because I really feel sorry for him, but all the guys who are still in the championship fight deserve the championship. All 5 of them, as Rudy sets the new fast lap again, 9.3, so he is picking up the pace and now trying to pull away from DV. DRS will be inactive now, so next lap round, well actually no, this lap round actually, because he's still within DRS range. So he's got DRS then, has DV, so he now will be closing that gap to Rudy. No overtakes at the moment, I don't see. what is this? It's 5 drivers fighting for a championship in PSGL 4, my friend. As right now then, Rudy still leads. DB in second. Shane's just trying to catch up with DB, but DB's doing a cracking job catching up with Rudy. And now Rudy's in DB situation. Do I save ERS or do I just burn it all? Because that DRS is just going to gain you a lot of straight line speed. But DB isn't safe. Shane isn't that far off him. And I won't count out Shane here, because Shane could throw a spanner in the works and challenge DB. He's on the fresher tyres. Well, better tyres, I mean, not fresher, but better tyres at least on pace. So right now Shane should be quicker than DB. And there's yellows. That is a Mercedes going slowly. That is Lauter, sector 1. And it is turn 1, he is round. And that's a shame that Toto Wolff isn't going to be happy. He's going to be throwing the headset again at the wall. Right now then, more yellows. That is just a Merc. For some reason those yellows turn speed, didn't even lose it. Although back to the live action. He's just trying to keep in that window of Freaky Fast. Currently a second. He's pulling away from Zane, so that's what he needs to do. But then he needs to make... If he wants to win this race, he needs to get ahead of DV. Then he needs to pull the 3-second gap or pray that DV gets a penalty. If DV gets a penalty, he can just overtake him and just stay ahead. Then he's won it. And that Shane is gaining again on DV, but hasn't got the ERS to go for the overtake. As there's no tick still in the background on Zeus making me on Zane. I can't out Zane actually out of this because he's going to get another run on him. I don't think the guy's ahead. I will keep an eye on it. If he gets a good run, I will switch on it, and they're just through turn 4 now. No overtakes at the moment, and Zane has to stay behind this time around. It looks like he's struggling with traction on the hard tyres, as he looked like he was losing the rear through turn 4. Back on board though, our current championship point leader right now, who would win the championship if the race ended like this. Has won lap 19 out of 36. Everyone is very close together. Oh, as the Alpine makes an error, could Knuth make that an advantage for him? As right now he's trying to catch back up with these guys and trying to make a move as DV runs a bit deep into the final corner. So has that opened up for Shane possibly? And Knuth, as DRS will be inactive for them, and same with DV. Are they close enough this time round? It looks like Shane could go for it if he just uses a bit of his battery. He looks like he's got the speed. As Rudy though, he's in a bit of trouble. He has to turn. He gets the line, blocks DV off for attempting the overtake. Trent is now in DRS range, so he's in this fight. As Noah has dropped a couple of places. I don't know if he's got an issue or something. But right now then, don't what? Hey, hang on. There's Jabraka making a possible overtake on Zane. He's really close to the back end. He's looked a lot closer out of turn 3, but he couldn't make the move at the moment. Noah making moves back on Martin, and he's through back to 12th. As Bob Williams come into contact, and they've come in contact in real life before at that corner with Rosberg and Webber in 2006. Back on board with Shane though, trying to hunt DV down. Oh, Shane makes another error. Will this open the door for Knuth this time? Maybe it's Knuth's attempt. Don't count out Trinity though, he's not that far off these guys. Surely Shane is just going to let him go. It's just going to cost him time if they fight. And he goes for it. They're still going side by side now through turn 1. The McLaren versus Shane versus Knuth. Oh, Knuth's getting a bit of contact. Knuth's almost round. Freaky Fast making a move. Will Knuth block Trinity, or will he let him through? No, he keeps the position at the moment with pace. But will Knuth come back at him? He's possibly making a move. Freaky Fast thinking about the outside, has to back off in the end. That could have ended in tears for Knuth and his possible championship chances, even though it's like 0.001% to win the championship today. As Freaky Fast then holds the line at the moment and keeps the McLaren at bay. Could have been questionable though from Shane. It looked like the McLaren was alongside. It looked like Shane just cut him off. So that could be investigated by the stewards if necessary. That's from Rudy is very good. That's why he's still in the championship fight. Unfortunately, he's 11 points down off Trinity. But right now, I believe he would actually be mathematically out of it if DB stays where he is. And he's doing a cracking job holding him up. I don't know if that's the medium tyre though, having the advantage in Sector 2, or it's just pure pace, because they're both on roughly the same amount of ERS. And DB should be having him. He's getting the bonus of DRS, but he's just not using his battery. So maybe he's just waiting for the right moment. As Yellow's in Sector 3, that is one of the title contenders out. Is Ron Zeus. He's called it a day. He was one of the other guys who've 0.001%, and a 17-point gap to Trinity. So he's mathematically out of it anyway. So, yep, that's his championship run over, and it's been a shame there for Ron Zeus, because he's had a couple of good races this season, and then a couple of disappointing races, and obviously this is going to add into the disappointing race. So, shame for him, and hopefully next season, if he's fighting for a title, hopefully some good luck can go his way. Although, back to the live action yet again. Maybe 6-car fight. 4 championship contenders in this fight as well. Only 2 guys who aren't in the title fight are the 2 Alpines. And speaking about the Alpines, Shane is just gaining again on DV, but Rudy goes defensive this time. DV's probably going to go run wide to get a better run into 1. He is a lot close this time. Maybe DV's now realised he needs to make the overtake. Oh, obviously, I believe DV will walk away with this, to be honest. I did say in the race that he's going to win it. As we see another fight further in the background as well. We're quickly going on board with Jabraka. Slimbo making a move on Zane. Will he have a chance to make a move with Jabraka? Thought about it, but holds his nerve and makes a move on the Ferrari. And Zane's really close to that rear wing of the Aston Martin there. As LRB's also not that far out of this fight. Back to the lead though. DV versus Rudy. Is trying to hold his line. Trinity is a lot closer this time to Kurnos. Will he make a move on his TCG fellow teammate in TCG, but not teammates in PSGL? Shane's just not close enough. He's just too tense. He just needs to use the battery. He's got the battery, but so does DV. So DV can actually defend and go for the overtake. He's probably going to go for the overtake this time round, and he's not even going in the slipstream, so he just doesn't want the overtake right now. And Shane gets a lot closer. Still no overtake from these guys. But Slimbo making a move on Jabraka now for 7th position. So Slimbo making moves. He's the only Aston in this race. Yeah, I agree. It is a smart call for the hards just to confirm that you're going to make it to the end. But I think the mediums can easily make it to the end. Yeah, they might drop off pace, maybe the final couple of laps, but I think they'll be fine to the end, to be honest. But he could have made a smart strategy call. So, you know, these guys with me may have to pit again. I doubt it, but you never know. Tyre wear has been a bit weird with this tier as well, because Trinity at Mexico, he only had 75%, then he got an instant puncher on like the penultimate lap. So Rudy is now under threat. DV making a move round the outside. Thinks about it, but he's got to let it go. But look at Shane, very optimistic there, trying to make a move there into 1. Freaky Fast and Canuck now going side by side as well. We've got to keep an eye on all fights here. We have 2 tyre rivals scrapping away at the front. We have 2 tyre rivals scrapping away at the back. Canuck makes a move, but is he safe? Is he safe? No, he isn't. DV's trying to make a move. And all safe for now. No other overtakes at the moment. So the only guy who made an overtake that time around was Canuck. Canuck moves into 4th. Back to where he was, where he got cut off by Shane. Shane though is really closing up now. I think you might as well just send it, to be honest, like here, because you're not really going to lose out. As I believe the PSGL F1 tier will be starting very shortly, as I believe the Driver Championship was won by Juiced, and not COG Blizzard, or Masky Older, as he's now called. Right now then, DB versus Shane. Shane's a lot closer, but I don't think he's close enough. Actually, he might be. He's thinking, he's going on the outside. Rudy defends, holds the line. Oh, the Haas has just hit him. As the Haas got wing damage, It doesn't look like he's got wing damage, but he did hit the back of Rudy. This could be crucial. If he's got wing damage, minor wing damage could cost him this race. Because minor wing damage can still not show on the car for us visually. But minor damage can really affect the car. And he's going really slow there out of turn 5. But I think that was just him making an error. I think he's actually okay for now. So on lap 26 out of 36, not that many laps left remaining of the race. As I said, anything can still happen. Slimbo picks up a 3-second time penalty. And I don't know, DB looks alright, actually. I think he's safe for wing damage or anything, but he got really close to Rudy and it looked like he hit him. So I hope it isn't major damage to the car, because it could, if there is any, it could affect him, but right now it isn't. So he is safe. He's gaining on Rudy this time. Is he going to send it? Nope. Stays behind. Really, he can just stay in this position all race and win the championship right now. And Jaraka still fighting now. We've got Jaraka I'm using the 7th. And I believe right now, if the point stays as it was, I believe Haas will win the Constructors. Try and get that information out while we won the race. Yeah, right now, if Haas stay where they are, they've won the Constructors. The maximum points, well, to be honest, you'd need both Hasses actually either to score, only one driver to score points or not score points at all for AlphaTauri to win. But DB looks like he's going to make it this time. He's gaining, he goes on the inside. Is Rudy going to defend? He's going side by side. Is he going to keep the car? Oh, Rudy, DB has to make an error, switch. He's got Shane on his outside. Will Shane make the move? Hang on a minute, where's Trinity? What happened to Trinity? Shane possibly making a move on the inside. He's going to have to go on the outside of Rudy though, as they've gone 3 wide almost, down to turn 4. What happened to Trinity? Did he make an error and bottle it? Looks like he did, because now he's in 7th. I think he did. I think he made an error or something, and he's lost a lot of time. I didn't realise that, so... Lap 28 now out of 36. As I said, not that many laps remaining in the race, and there's still fighting for the lead of the race, and it's been all action all the way around, and Shane yet again closer. It's not close enough. He ain't getting the run he needs. If he wants to go for it, go for it. Because DB's making a move now on Rudy. He's going to switch him, I believe. Oh, he looked like he was going to switch, probably go dive for the inside, but he stays behind. He's playing it safe, which is smart. Shane's safe for now. Simmons picks up a 3-second time penalty. Still keeping on the ball, Rudy. What do you mean, Romeo, who I got? What do you mean? If you're thinking who I got for the win the race, it's obviously DV. Yellow's in sector 2, that is a Mercedes going slowly, but right now we're on board with the live action right now. Shane making a move. Is he going to be boxing him in? He is boxing him in. So DV couldn't make the overtake. DV's now dropped to 3rd. Shane is now into 2nd place. As Shane is now took the lead, bit of contact between him and Rudy. Shane in the lead of the race. Rudy now drops to 2nd. This isn't going to help DV. He's still got a championship in the bag, but right now, if he wants to win this race and score more points, he's going to have to get past two drivers. As Altus is out, he's retired in the pit lane, so I don't believe any safe car will be called or anything like that. So, oh, winner. I still think it's DV. I think DV's got the win in the bag, to be honest. But I might have to actually switch to Shane, because Shane's made a cracking overtake and pulling away. And Trinity is back in the mix. We have a massive train now. Hang on a minute. Oh, like Rocco had a missed gear or something, because he went really slowly up that hill. Back to live action up front though. DV's made the move on Rudy, so the hard tyres are through. Hang on a minute. Hang on a second. Did Rudy not get DRS? Or has Rudy got an issue because he just didn't use DRS? Similarly, retired from the session in the pit lane. As I don't know what's just happened. Knuff's now moved to third. Pretty fast now, making a move on Rudy. Has Rudy got damage to the car? Oh no, this is going to end in tears. Oh god. Just keep it under control, keep it clean. As Jabraka trying to make a move, he don't really need to fight. They've won the constructors the way it is right now. They've won it. Looks like they're going to take a double. Well, DV now versus Shane. There's one lap, 31 out of 36 now. There's on board with Trinity now. He's trying to possibly make a move on Jabraka and Rudy. Makes one overtake. It just looks like Rudy just doesn't want to fight anymore. Just hasn't got it in him, or either he's got a DRS failure or something, but something's not right with the car. He's lost a lot of pace. I don't know if that was because of the hit with Shane. I got some minor floorboard damage which can easily affect the car quite easily, because it was a big hit. And yeah, Rudy indeed. That's his championship over basically as well. We're on lap 32 out of 36. The clouds are starting to come in. So, was I right? Was there possible rain? He's now picked up a 3-second time penalty. And the action has died down a little bit now. Rudy dropped all the way down out of 10th. He is off the track. And I think he's going to call it a day. He might call it a day in the pit lane. Shane still leads then. But DB is literally on his tail. Starting lap number 33. Yeah, Rudy's calling it a day, and Rudy is DNF then, so that is another title contender out of this race. We've only got 3 remaining. And Zane's after session. Hopefully he can get back in the car as quick as possible. I've got to feel sorry for the drivers who've just missed out on the championship this season, the way this is going to go. But he could still have a span in the works. Knuth could help Trinity out. Would be a legend for GTG, but and a legend to Trinity, but doesn't look like it. And he doesn't like he's close enough, because Shane's now boxing these guys back. And we saw this earlier. Rudy was defending quite well, and his tyres went out. So maybe that's why Rudy just lost a lot of pace, and then the forward damage as well. Shane makes now out the exit there. You can see, Rocco isn't that far. Trinity isn't that far off these guys. So, we're starting lap number 34. DV definitely making the overtake this time round. Going on the outside. Will Shane cut him off? Oh, he almost went there. And he closed the door and keeps it for now. Possibly going for turn 4, he gains a bit more, but I don't know, I said he might go for the last one as there's yellows. Too late for a safety car, BSC. Marty dropped to 11th. I think he'll be promoted to 10th if Zane hasn't rejoined the session in time. I think Zane's actually just rejoined the session. Just quickly go on that. Yeah, Zane is back in the car. So, Martin will be 11th for now. As we're going to start the penultimate lap of this race then, of the F4 tier, DB is doing a cracking job. Not going for it at the moment. I think he's just going to stay behind, to be honest. Martin has caught it there, so there's only 10 people left of this race. If people wanted rain and they wanted it to come, it needs it to come now and literally just waterlog the track if they want something to change, because right now DB is going to claim his title. It's penultimate lap of this race then. Shane leads, DB second, Knuth in third, Fast in fourth. I think only one of my predictions will be right, to be honest, with DB winning. Here it is then, DB has saved all his battery, all he can save, and he's going for it. Surely he's going to take the lead of this race and win it on track. Shane defends on the outside, Shane brakes really early, I'm probably scared DB a tiny bit. At the exit of 2, will he go for it or will he just stay behind? Because if it was him, I'd stay behind and just play it safe. Just to win you the championship, you've won the Constructors. He's going for it, maybe. No, he backs off again. Shane defends to the inside, so he's playing it safe. He can't risk making a move and making an error, because he could just ruin his championship. It could cost him this lap. So on the final lap of this race then, Shane is doing a cracking job, but we're going to have to go on board a DV, because he's done a better job. Started on pole, I believe, and I can't fault him. He's done brilliant all season long. Well, I've been a commentator, I think, from Britain all the way till now. He's done a cracking job. Rocco has tried his best, but DV just basically said to him, your best isn't good enough, because DV has done what he needs to do to win the Drivers' Championship for F4. Shane is going to win this race. Or is he? Because it could be a 4-0 finish. He's going for it, side by side. But DV wins the World Drivers' Championship for the F4 tier. Knuth goes third, Jabraka in fourth. And that means the Haas team as a whole have won the Constructors' Championship. Freaky Fast in fifth, LRB in sixth. I believe in seventh was Trinity. So it is official. DV has won the Drivers' Championship. And he will be over the moon with that win. And with both titles wrapped up for the Haas team. As he comes up to the podium and he's happy, he gets the trophy up in the air and starts spraying the champagne because he knows he's done a good job today. Shane has to win the race, but DV to win the World Championship for F4, he'll be over the moon with that, and getting the double, winning the constructors as well, is a good sign for the team, showing that they were the best of the rest. So Shane then takes the win on track, and DV, your crowned F4 champion. Knuth in third, Jabraka in fourth, Freaky Fast in fifth, LRB in sixth, Trinity in seventh. Unfortunately, he won the championship point leader for the final round, but unfortunately mistakes and definitely what happened at lap 1 just cost him today. Maybe he did have some floor damage in the end and he just couldn't keep up with the pace. Slimboy in 8th, Zane does get classified 9th, and Jones, Noah in 10th. Martin gets classified 11th with 2 laps down, but everybody else, Rudy, Simblix, Lautus, Ronzeus, Tuxmar, all DNF'd from today's race. But your champions are DV, who wins the Drivers' Championship, and yet again the Haas team winning the Constructors for the F4 tier. Both drivers are going to be happy with that, and a lot of respect for a 5-car championship fight for the final round. And it's been great to commentate this season. Hopefully I can commentate F4 next season. But I've been your commentator, IL Neon, or Jared Forrest, but this has been PSGL PS Season 29 F4, the finale round, round number 15 at Brazil. And your champion, as again, is DV. The Constructors is the Haas team. They have won that championship, so congratulations to them, and congratulations to everybody this season for racing and participating for the PSGL tier, for the F4 tier. So see you guys next time. Goodbye.